Choose one, pause everything, and listen. This is no coincidence. Today, August 7th, the universe has conspired to deliver this message straight to you, bypassing all algorithms and distractions, because a signal of enormous, life-altering importance is being transmitted from the heavenly realm, and your soul is one of the intended recipients. There are moments in a person's life that feel charged with destiny, when the barrier between heaven and earth thins and the air itself appears to vibrate with unsaid possibilities. August 7th is one of these hallowed gates. Something in your spirit has been stirring, a deep, restless sense that a huge change is about to occur. You felt it in your quiet moments, the sensation that you're on the verge of a momentous transformation. This is a confirmation. This date is more than just another square on the calendar. It is a divinely ordained appointment, a cosmic marker signaling the conclusion of one long, grueling chapter and the spectacular start of another. What God is delivering you today will not be a loud display for the world to see, but rather an intimate, powerful whisper intended just for you. It is the answer to a prayer you believed was forgotten, the return of clarity you had given up on. What you're going to hear will reveal the root cause of your current difficulties and show the route forward with blazing clarity. Pay close attention, since your whole future depends on your capacity to perceive and respond to the signal that arrives today. Before delving further into the spiritual center of this message, it is critical that we prepare the vessel you. Take a minute to pause. Allow the world's frenzied energy to subside. Inhale deeply and then exhale, releasing the noise, stress, and distrust. Quiet your thoughts so that your spirit may listen. Now, in this moment of silence, I want you to execute an act of powerful spiritual alignment. Go to the comments box and make your most genuine, heartfelt desire. The one you keep hidden in the recesses of your heart, the dream you've been cultivating in quiet, frightened to even utter it out. After you've made your request, please input the sacred numerical frequency 777. This is not a superstitious fad. It is a deliberate exercise of aligning your own intentions with the divine order of the cosmos. It is a spiritual signature, an energetic echo sent back to heaven declaring, "I am here. I am listening. I am ready." This simple, quiet declaration tunes your spirit to receive the divine signal God is sending on August 7th, ensuring it reaches you with full power and clarity. If this message has already struck a chord with you, please take a time to like the video and subscribe to God Wisdom, which is more than simply a channel. It is a shelter for chosen souls like you. Let we begin. This message of truth is not intended for the masses. It is not a wide, general encouragement. It is a very particular, focused message for the few souls who sense the tug of destiny without requiring a rational explanation. It is intended for people who perceive the change of spiritual seasons not by a changing weather, but by the indisputable weight and texture of the energy in their spirit. It is for you, the one who has been trekking through a strange desert of uncertainty, holding your head up with a faith that defied your surroundings, even when your knees trembled with dread and fatigue. Your existence here, reading these words, is not by coincidence. This message came to you because a deep, important part of your soul has already answered a heartfelt yes to the next phase of your journey. Your conscious mind is catching up. You must recognize that you have essentially outgrown the life that formerly defined you. The previous season, with all of its difficulties and tribulations, had to crumble around you. This was not because you failed at it, but because you perfectly completed its objective. You learned every lesson it was intended to impart. You faced difficulties you never believed you could overcome. You were busy establishing deep, invisible spiritual roots when others were just concerned with the outward appearance of their lives. And now every tear, every sacrifice, every moment of bewilderment, and every ounce of strength you've built is coming together in one single, tremendous moment. You are not being asked to restart from scratch. You are being welcomed to enter the reality that has always been waiting for you, patiently, on the other side of refining. On this important day, August 7th, don't anticipate the signal to come as a bolt of lightning from a clear sky or a thundering voice that shakes the earth. That's the language of spectacle. Heaven uses subtlety, intimacy, and profound symbolism to communicate with people in whom it has the deepest confidence. The signal might come in the form of an idea that sticks with you and refuses to go. It might be a person, a location, or a word that keeps recurring in the most unexpected ways. It might take the form of an unexpected moment of silence and tranquility in the midst of a busy environment. This is the heavenly procedure for the selected. It communicates through patterns, synchronicities, heavenly nudges, and intuitive pulls. It wants you to understand its message not with your physical sight, but with the infallible understanding within your spirit. This signal's first influence may not cause your external world to change overnight. Its major goal is to radically transform you. And once your internal frequency alters, your viewpoint shifts, your exterior world is forced to reconfigure itself to accommodate your new state of being. You've surely felt the increasing strain in recent weeks and months. It is an unexplained strain, a spiritual restlessness that defies rationality, especially when everything in your life appears to be in order. This emotion is not anxiousness, but rather preparation. It is the sensation of heavenly recalibration. God, the master builder, does not send out a signal of this size without first carefully adjusting the receiver. And you, the chosen one, are being tuned. Imagine yourself as a sophisticated spiritual instrument. The static of your past, fear, uncertainty, critics' voices, betrayal wounds, is now dispersing. The interference that has prevented you from hearing the clean, clear broadcast from heaven is fading. As a result, you are about to hear, feel, and comprehend something that the great majority of people will miss entirely. This isn't because you're naturally superior than them. It's because you've been shattered enough to be incredibly sensitive. The divine broke and rebuilt your heart, transforming it into a highly sensitive antenna. You have developed a sensitivity to the truth, sensitive to divine timing. Most essential, be alert to the inescapable pull of your own destiny. You must let go of the deeply entrenched human impulse to have this signal validate your comfort. It may not be. In reality, this signal is more likely to arrive as confirmation of your call. Divine callings are rarely wrapped in pillows and comfort. They are accompanied with a call to bravery. They convey a clarity that is so crisp and cutting that it calls for instant action. You will be unable to ignore it. Not this time. This signal is distinct. It conveys a weight, power, and finality that you haven't felt before. It has been building for months, even years. Every aggravating delay, every door that was firmly shut in your face, every lengthy and terrible period of stillness in which you felt completely alone, it was not for naught. It was all part of a larger plan, preparing, teaching, and polishing you to identify this moment for what it is, an invitation. Not an invitation to something new and fashionable, but rather an opportunity to reconnect with something ancient and real within yourself. Your sole task right now is to remain open. Stay vigilant. Maintain a gentle, receptive attitude while being solid in your resolve. August 7th is more than simply a date on the calendar. It is a heavenly appointment. Your spirit sent the RSVP long ago. Heaven is going to appear in your life in a concrete way. Not because you have been flawless, but because you have been placed. And it is that positioning, attained through suffering, procedure, and pure persistence, that will enable you to hear this precious signal without fear, confusion, or additional delay. You know this to be true because you've experienced it. You've been in rooms where your spirit cringed and recoiled before your body could respond. You've stood in the middle of seemingly innocent talks, yet deep down, in your core, you could feel your soul shrinking and your vitality being sucked away simply by being around a specific frequency. That was not your imagination. It was your spiritual discernment at work. You have gained a unique and valuable gift, spiritual awareness. And today, August 7th, that present will serve as the master key to unlock your next chapter. Not everyone will hear or understand the signal being transmitted. In actuality, they are not supposed to. But you, the chosen one, will. You will immediately identify it. Why? Because you did not receive this instruction in a classroom. It occurred during the invisible conflicts you waged in the dark of night. It happened in the quiet perseverance you shown while no one was watching. It was made in the burning prayers you murmured between gritted teeth, as well as the holy tears you shed when no one else could see except God. None of this went to waste. It was all about carefully developing your spiritual muscles and polishing your judgment for a moment like this. The signal you are going to receive will not serve to flatter your ego or elevate your social status. It will come to awaken your mission at a level you have not yet reached. It will demand you to respond, not simply react. A reaction is an unconscious, knee-jerk response caused by fear or previous tendencies. A reaction is a conscious, deliberate decision motivated by knowledge and alignment. This indication may prompt you to maintain a loving but strong distance from others who still view and treat you as the person you were in a previous season, unwilling to realize your significant development. It may lead you down a new, unconventional route, causing even your well-honed confidence to stammer and question itself. However, you must not confuse the agony of progress with the risk of being on the incorrect track. Divine agony might be as simple as destiny jolting your spirit awake from a lengthy slumber. This signal will reverberate in your chest like the resounding, irrefutable chiming of a large bell. When it does, you'll know. It will be a knowing that goes beyond rationality, a confidence that does not require external validation. You won't have to explain it to anyone. You are not being asked to persuade a doubting world that you have heard from God. You are only being asked to answer. The way you reply is your final contribution. Your words, affirmations, and diary entries do not contain the genuine answer to heaven's signal. It is there in your movements. When you feel a shift, you must respond with action. Even if you're terrified. Even if it now makes no sense to your reasoning thinking. Trust that the portions that are currently confusing will make perfect, magnificent sense once you have completed your obedience. This trip isn't about seeing the complete way ahead of you. It is about believing what you feel and know deep inside your spirit. Some of you will see this signal as a clear order to shut specific chapters in your life, even if there are still a few pages to flip. Others will ask you to open or knock on doors you had no idea existed. This signal functions in accordance with your alignment rather than your logic. Alignment is not about obtaining perfection. It's about providing permission. Are you prepared to say yes to your own unfolding, even if your voice shakes? Are you prepared to take that one step, even if you can't see the rest of the stairs? Because the divine rarely provides comprehensive blueprints. It offers key moments. And August 7th is a day of supreme, holy significance. It is a signal that distinguishes the complacent from the called, and the chilly from the selected. Let this be the season when you stop looking for signals that just confirm your current comfort zone, and instead pray for indicators that awaken your dormant boldness. The signal may take the form of an unexpected discussion, an opportunity that was not in your 5-year plan, or even a door closing on what you thought you wanted, followed by an unexplainable and profound sense of serenity. You must not measure this new directive with your existing filters. Do not make comparisons to how God has previously operated in your life. This is new. This is different. And it is customized particularly to your spiritual frequency, not your past or acquaintance. There's a reason you were never supposed to fit in. That's why so many places, professions, and relationships have never seemed right. You've been feeling misplaced for years, not because you're broken, but because you were intentionally put at this particular time. There is a divine plan developing in your life. Everything is being organized, not by accident or happenstance, but by precise, loving planning. And if it feels like people are drifting away, or if you are being drawn into a period of intense seclusion, don't fight it. Embrace it. God compassionately eliminates what and who you cannot take with you into the next level. The signal is not disseminated to crowds. It is delivered to the committed. For people who have made a soul-level decision, clarity is more important than comfort, and loyalty to their inner truth is more important than others' approval. If this message speaks to the depths of your soul, and you feel the divine timing in your bones, now is the time to formally join our collective. Subscribe to God Wisdom and activate the notification bell to never miss a communication intended for you. This is more than a channel. It is a lifeline, a community of other chosen souls on the path to ascension. Your subscription is a commitment to your own spiritual advancement. On August 7th, your spirit will perceive something that your intellect may still be trying to understand. That is completely okay. Believe in your own soul. It existed before the misunderstanding began, and it will persist long after the clarity has arisen. Do not question the sensations that come within you. That subtle nudge, inner pull, gut feeling, that is your heavenly compass, and it never fails. Do not postpone your journey because you are waiting for consensus or widespread approval from others around you. This season isn't about agreement. It's about conviction. And the strength of your inner belief will guide you more reliably and safely than any round of applause ever could. The most important thing to remember is that the signal will arrive in the shape of your own spiritual language. Not your earthly taught language, but your soul's original tongue. God does not need to utilize loudness to express himself. He sometimes speaks the loudest amid the deepest depths of silence. And whatever you perceive, don't reject it as your imagination. Sit with it. Pray with it. Most importantly, act on it. Because what appears to be a little, meaningless step in the moment might be the key to unlocking something big and magical in your path. You are standing on the verge of something wholly precious. And the signal? It is not a test to determine whether you are worthy. It's an act of faith. Heaven is letting you know that your faithfulness and resilience have been recognized. It is a trust that you have earned through the flames of sorrow, the long winters of solitude, and the dark evenings of the soul when you questioned whether you would ever have a sense of purpose again. But look at yourself now. Here you are, aligned, available, ready. This signals a shift in not just your own circumstances, but also the course of your whole legacy. Sometimes the most powerful and life-changing signal does not sound like a heavenly trumpet blow. It is the one that settles softly into your bones, a profound understanding that arrives before your intellect can give it a name. And for you, selected one, the signal arriving on August 7th will not require explanation or analysis. It will just be acknowledged. It will resonate with your finely tuned discernment like a familiar, lovely music you didn't realize you recalled. It will not waste time disputing with your argument. Rather, it will completely bypass it. Because now is not the time to attempt to argue your way into agreement. This is the time to feel your way ahead with unwavering trust. You'll recognize the signal because it will disturb your daily routine in the most precious and irrefutable way. You could halt mid-thought, mid-sentence, or mid-plan and realize, with a start, that something basic has changed within you. That pause does not indicate weakness or uncertainty. It's a wonderful interruption. Heaven is intervening to provide you with a fresh set of spiritual coordinates. Do not dispute this redirection merely because it does not include a complete set of instructions. The signal may not inform you the following 10 steps. It may merely inform you what is no longer suitable for you. It could simply highlight the one item you need to let go of. That by itself is a profound type of clarity. You may experience a sudden, intense tug away from something or someone you thought you badly needed. That is not failure. Rather, you are being given freedom. The signal may remove the noise, the old routines, and even the things that were formerly considered blessings, because what served and sheltered you in one season may suffocate you in the next. And this signal is about preparing for the future rather than preserving the past. God is not attempting to keep you at your current level of comfort. He is attempting to reawaken your ultimate calling. And a real calling rarely seems secure when it first comes. It's disruptive, unsettling, and extremely demanding, but it's also undeniably true. Do not turn to others to validate what your soul perceives. Some people around you, including those you love, will completely miss this moment. They're still hunting for confirmation in the skies, but your confirmation has already arrived right in your chest. You're being urged to relocate before it makes sense, to change your position before the entire picture is visible. That is not recklessness, but reverence. It is a strong statement that says, God, I trust your signal more than I trust my own strategy. Your reluctance is a holy and human reaction, but don't let it become a habit of inactivity. You may respect your emotions while not allowing them to take over. Feel the dread, accept the uncertainty, but don't let any of those emotions cause you to postpone your obedience. This signal is more than simply a message. It is a command. It is a summons to finally become the person you were always meant to be. Not when the moment seems ideal in your head, but now. Right now. Because the skies are moving, and your prompt response is an essential component of the divine rhythm. There is a deep reason why you have been so spiritually restless and irritated. The signal is not coming to wake you up from your slumber. Rather, it is arriving because you are already awake. You've already felt the vibrations. You've already sensed the transformation. On a deep inner level, you know something is changing, even if you can't quite put your finger on it. This is because your soul is already tuned into the frequency of paradise. As a result, the signal is meant to pass through you rather than just reaching you. You're the vessel. You are the proof. What does it look like to respond? It appears to simplify your life. It appears that you are purposefully deleting anything and everything that does not belong in order to prevent your heavenly signal from being drowned out by triviality. It appears to be preserving your inner serenity as if it were holy cash. It appears to be canceling plans that do not correspond with your evolving purpose. It appears that having the fortitude to say no to perfectly fine things will allow you to be totally accessible for the God-sized thing that is about to happen. It's no longer about being busy. It's about being in the right place. The fact is that while many are called, only a few are well-positioned to receive. You cannot receive a blessing unless you are receptive to it. You cannot receive a miracle if you haven't created place in your life. This signal will not compete for space. If your life is crowded with diversions, stressful relationships, and useless responsibilities, you may miss it. Not because you weren't picked, but because you didn't listen. This is your final admonition to listen carefully. Lean in, to maintain alertness, not just with your physical senses, but with your entire spirit. Allow August 7th to be the day you stop seeking for indications that conform to your tastes, and instead open yourself up to a signal that pushes you, challenges you, and beckons you higher. Growth is never convenient. Alignment is not always clear. However, both are worth everything. You will never regret taking risks that get you closer to the amazing person you were meant to be. And this signal is beckoning you home to your actual self, your mission, and the next spiritual plane. You are not being asked to accomplish this alone. Even in stillness, you are encircled, directed, and powerful. Every step on your walk is lighted, even if you can only see the next footstep. The signal will never mislead you or leave you stranded. It will lead you to where you are meant to be and prepare you for who you will become. But first, you have to trust it. Even when it is calm, even when it appears weird, even when it takes you far into unfamiliar land. Don't disregard the nudges. The signal does not always yell. It most commonly whispers via repetition, uneasiness, and the visceral reaction your body has when something is wrong. Listen to your inner serenity. Pay attention to your uneasiness. Both are kind of spiritual indications. Both are streams of divine information. Use them. Most importantly, act. Do not only feel it. Don't simply write about it. Don't simply pray about it. Move. One step, one decision, and one limit. It does not need to be a loud, spectacular move to be effective. It simply needs to be authentic. When the signal arrives, which it will, your answer is in agreement with heaven. Are you prepared to answer the call? Then answer. Not with noise, but with motion. Make your life the loudest yes you've ever whispered. The signal on August 7th is not calling for applause. It is asking for a clear mind. You have received more than simply signals. You have been endowed with wisdom. And now that you've gotten this signal, the real job starts. The change is no longer about listening, but about recognizing what you've heard. The most harmful thing you can do during the sacred season is to hesitate, since it causes distortion. It enables the ego to transform obvious, divine messages into a tangled web of uncertainty and doubt. But when you act with clarity, even if you're still mending and unsure of the outcome, you show the universe that you trust the invisible language of faith. This is the sign of spiritual maturity. The ability to respond before full comprehension, the fortitude to follow before complete comfort. The reality is you don't have to feel prepared. You only need to feel called. And you do, right? Deep in your gut, in that hallowed, silent region beyond words, you realize that something significant has occurred within you. It makes no difference whether or not the rest of the world understands. It makes little difference if those closest to you support it. This signal was not broadcast to the audience. Rather, it was whispered directly to your spirit. Stop searching for collective approval for what is a single project. Don't anticipate this signal to arrive with a full instruction manual. God is sending you confirmation rather than blueprints because designs would require you to rely on reasoning, whereas He wants you to rely purely on faith. That is why you have recently felt so out of control. That is why your regular rhythms and habits are no longer effective. The signal alters your internal frequency, and your duty is not to decode every detail, but rather to stay listening. Staying attentive does not imply perfection. It means to be present. It is waking up every day and asking the simple question, what do I need to let go of today so that I can hear more clearly? This is alignment. That's spiritual precision. That is the stance that puts you in the ideal position to accept the next clue, open door, or miracle. Some of you are being asked to lay aside the same things that brought you comfort in the previous season: relationships, habits, identities, and time frames. The signal is not concerned with preserving your previous season. Rather, it is preparing you for a higher level of spiritual power. You are not punished. Rather, you are being positioned. Allow that truth to penetrate your very core. Sometimes the storm is the signal. Sometimes deafening stillness is the solution. Sometimes the painful rejection is a divine redirection. Chosen one, you must learn to look beyond the apparent. If you wait for thunder, you'll miss the whisper. If you wait for applause, you will miss the instructions. And if you wait for comfort, you will never discover your actual calling. You were not picked to live a life of leisure. You were picked to make an effect. An effect always necessitates disruption. The disruption of restricting routines, obsolete attitudes, and comfy yet stagnant zones. That's why this signal won't leave you alone. It keeps circling, pushing, and popping up in your dreams, thoughts, and times of silence. Don't reject it. That's not your overactive imagination. That's your heavenly invitation. An invitation to develop, progress, and eventually break free from your previous persona so that the world may know who you actually are. Your new season does not need you to become a better version of yourself. It requires you to be genuine. It requires you to quit performing and begin living your truth. To quit waiting and begin walking. The signal is your formal cue to not just believe in your potential, but to realize it. You already know what the next correct step is. Maybe you've been avoiding an unpleasant talk. Perhaps you need to make a clear decision. Perhaps it is a difficult but necessary goodbye. Perhaps it is a strong statement of your ambitions. Whatever it is, don't appear to be bewildered. You're not puzzled, you're terrified. And that's okay. Fear does not equal failure. But allowing yourself to remain locked in that fear is disobedience. That is choosing to postpone your own destiny. That misses the divine movement of heaven, as well as the wonder that bears your name. This is your moment. Affirm that you have received this message and sacred appointment. Take the advice presented here and use it to drive your next move. Finally, make sure you're subscribed to God Wisdom and have alerts enabled on so you can stay connected to the source of guidance who will lead you through this tremendous transition. A signal has been sent. Your response is now due.